What's up, guys? This is my channel, X&O TV, and today we're going to break down who I think should win Defensive Player of the Year. So I got three candidates here: TJ Watt, Xavien Howard, and Aaron Donald. It's really interesting this year because you have three guys who all play different positions who honestly could have won any other year, but they're all going up against each other this year. So when we start with TJ Watt, he led the league with 15 sacks, 23 tackles for loss, and 41 quarterback hits. So he had the most production when you look at these three guys. Now, when you come to Xavien Howard, he provided the most splash with 10 interceptions, which led the league, and 20 pass defenses. Finally, we come to Aaron Donald, who didn't have the same amount of production that TJ Watt had, didn't provide the same level of splash like Xavien Howard, but still had a great season. And I don't think anyone would disagree with me that he's the best player out of these three guys and probably the best player in the NFL. So in today's video, we're going to look at some clips and break down some film, and at the end of it, I'm going to tell you who I think should win Defensive Player of the Year. So first, we're going to talk about TJ Watt. He's who I want to personally win. I thought he should have won last year. Me being a Steelers fan, I'm a little biased. But when it comes to pass rushing, TJ uses his elite speed and motor to get sacks. He's able to get around the tackles and bend that corner better than almost anybody in the league. They know this, so the tackles will start to overcompensate for that speed, and that's when he's able to get real easy sacks by faking the speed rush and then ripping and spinning inside. Now, there is a misconception that he doesn't get double teamed. He does, but it's usually by tight ends and running backs, guys who aren't used to blocking guys like TJ Watt. A lot of time the leverage gets messed up, and TJ is able to use that relentlessness to get in between them and kind of squirm and shoot through. Most of the time he ends up getting launched right into the quarterback for an easy sack. What impresses me the most about TJ Watt is his run defense, and it's mostly due to that elite speed I was talking about before. He's just so fast. There's certain plays that just simply won't work against the Steelers defense because TJ will just end up chasing the play from the backside. So I really wanted to break down this play because it shows off that speed that I won't shut up about. This is a read option, and Lamar basically has two choices here. If TJ Watt, who's unblocked, comes upfield super aggressive, then Lamar's going to keep the ball. If not, if TJ plays more conservative, then Lamar's going to hand the ball off to his running back. But what ends up happening here, because TJ's so fast, he's going to arrive at that mesh point way too early. So now there's no read, and Lamar has to eat it for a huge loss of like 4 or 5 yards. Okay, so next we're going to talk about Xavien Howard, who for most people is like the dark horse candidate in this race. Most cornerbacks don't win Defensive Player of the Year. Stephon Gilmore won last year, but before then it was Charles Woodson like 10 years earlier. But Xavien Howard certainly deserves it. He had 10 interceptions last year, which is extremely impressive, led the league by far. What makes him so special is, first off, he's instinctive, right? So he's very smart, and he can anticipate routes based on certain personnel groupings and different formations the offense come out in. But what really impressed me, what I didn't notice this until I actually sat down and watched the tape, was how athletic and fluid he is when he's in man coverage. He can lock down these receivers because he's able to stop on a dime and flip his hips with absolute ease. So this shows off the full package for Xavien Howard. It really is a perfect example of his instincts and great athleticism. So the Chargers, they're in a 3rd and long, and Herbert really wants this post or this deep out. And the Dolphins are in the cover 3, so they cannot get beat deep. Xavien Howard's in a deep third, so he can't let anybody behind him. What's going to happen is Herbert's going to read the safety here, and he's going to see that the post isn't open. So he's just going to turn, and he's going to assume that Howard is just as deep as the other corner. And if you look at the opposite side, the corner, he's extremely deep compared to Xavien Howard. And that's because he's worried about getting beat deep, where Xavien Howard was anticipating a throw to the first down marker. Since he did that, he's going to make a great play on the football and add another interception to his total. So after watching all of Howard's game film, this was my absolute favorite play by him. It's basically a rub route by the Jets against the Dolphins, who are in press man coverage. What's going to happen here is Jamison Crowder is going to fake like they're crossing with the other wide receiver, and he's going to get buck-ass naked. Fortunately for the Dolphins, Xavien Howard's really, really good, and he's going to cover 2 wide receivers at the same exact time. This could have been a touchdown here, but instead, Howard makes a great play, and it's only 10 yards. So finally, we have the 2-time Mr. Aaron Donald himself. This guy, I'm going to show some clips about him, or show some clips on him, but he's clearly the best player in the NFL, and it's really not even close. I could watch game film on him all day long. Like, I suggest if you're ever feeling down, you turn on some Aaron Donald tape and watch him beat the living hell out of other grown men on national TV in front of their family and friends, and then you can think to yourself, well, it can't be that bad because at least I'm not this guy, right? Like, what makes him so special? He's too strong. He's too fast. His technique's too good. His motor runs too hot. There's just really, like, he is just too good. It's like watching a grown adult man play pee-wee football. Now, the Rams like to use him in a variety of different ways. They line him up all over the D-line from 1 tech to 5 tech, and he just exploits any weaknesses there are, and he makes you pay for those weaknesses, and honestly, that's the best way to use him. Okay, so if I had to describe Aaron Donald, it would be a disruptor. That's it. That's what he's best at. It's just blowing everything the hell up. So here you just have a power to the outside, and the tight end is laughably going to try to wash Aaron Donald down, and then you're going to have the guard and the tackle pull around. The tackle's going to kick out the edge, and then the guard is supposed to go find somebody to block, but it doesn't end up going that way because Aaron Donald's going to drive your tight end, and pretty much anybody for that matter, into the backfield, and you'll see what happens. It's going to take the pulling guard out, and then Zeke's going to have to cut back, and there's nobody blocking that way. So okay, so when I saw this play, like, I literally couldn't stop laughing. This is it's impressive, but it's funny at the same time. So the Rams are running a little stunt. Basically, Aaron's job is to blow up those interior linemen and allow the defensive tackle to get a free rush at Prescott, maybe get a pressure, maybe a sack, something like that. Instead, what's going to happen is Aaron Donald's going to take this way too serious and try killing somebody. And he's going to knock Joe Looney back into Zach Martin, who, by the way, is a Pro Bowl, future Hall of Fame guard. And he's just going to destroy these two, still be athletic enough and fast enough to get a hit on Prescott. All right, guys, so that's going to wrap up my breakdown on my top 3 candidates for Defensive Player of the Year. Now, the question still remains, who do I think is going to win? I believe it's TJ Watt. I think the fact that he is leading the NFL in multiple defensive categories statistically is going to separate him from the rest of the pack. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if any of these guys, when they all deserve recognition for the type of year that they had, and they all check a ton of boxes, right? Like, they're all big name athletes, they all had the stats, they all played on incredible defenses. Like, the Dolphins, the Rams, and the Steelers were all in the playoffs because of the defense and the efforts from these individuals. So I completely agree, or I completely understand if you disagree. That's completely fine. I just think TJ will win this award because of the fact he's leading in all those categories: sacks, tackles for loss, and quarterback hits, which is insane. He has over 40 quarterback hits. So again, though, that's just my opinion. So I appreciate you guys watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.